I don't even know where to start. As you know, I've taken the last 2 weeks off, and I've
Almost
taken the
2
last
years
2 weeks
pog.
off of everything. I wasn't on Twitter, I wasn't on Instagram, I wasn't even on Discord. Which also meant to a lot of people I didn't message back. I'm really sorry. Thank you for
1
everyone
year. I am glad
replying
you're feeling
and
well enough to
messaging
stream
and
Niki. Less
reaching
than 3.
out.
I wanted to thank you for
I read your
fostering such an
messages as
amazing
well.
and kind community. I've
Thank
made
you.
so many amazing friends in your offline chat.
I appreciate
I've been the
that.
happiest I've ever been this past year thanks to yours and
Oh,
Jack's communities.
that is
Less
so
than 3 have
sweet. Yes, so I've taken a little bit of time
Welcome
off.
back, Niki. We've
And
missed you so much, and
I
I
just
hope
took
you're
it off
feeling
to
better.
kind of reflect on
Also,
myself.
happy 10 months. Love the new sub
Kind of
badges,
just
Nihachu
be
love.
with myself um and figure some things out, because I wasn't well. I really was not, and I'm still not 100%. Obviously, you can't just find the secret formula and be perfect within 2 weeks, but I'm better. And I want to share this with you because I think a lot of things that I have learned in the last few weeks are a few things that can help you guys as well, and maybe it's just some nice things to hear. As well as I have always tried to be and show that show people that I am human. I have emotions. I have struggles. I did grow up perfectly, and that reflects in the person that I am today. And that's why I need a break sometimes, and I had this break. Sorry, it's so weird to be back. So yeah, no, I just wanna talk about that a little bit. I also have realized or seen in the past few days and weeks talking to other people that everyone is having a little bit of a struggle right now. And I think I could tell you, I think a big reason of that, obviously everyone has
Hi, Niki.
their own
Illiza,
personal
I can't
issues
wait
and their
for
own
this stream.
personal
Less than
setbacks,
3.
but I think a big issue of that is that we are just we had to stay inside with ourselves for the past years, and as horrible as this time was, we were all in it together. Everyone lived through this horrible and scary thing together, and we all could kind of come
Moon
together
20
to that
months.
and say, yes,
I
the
am
world is
glad you're
shit
back,
right
and I
now,
hope you
but
have had a
we're
fulfilling
all
break.
here
Less than 3.
now. It's kind of parting, and everyone is going outside again, and all the issues that you had to
Hi,
put on
Niki.
hold
Glad to have
for
you
the
back.
last
I really
2 or
hope the break
3
helped you.
or
Are
maybe
so
even
valid.
4
Less than
years,
333.
all of a sudden are back, and maybe even stronger, because
Much
we
love,
didn't
Nihachu
live. We
love.
had to pause our lives, and all of a sudden, but the world still spun, but we didn't. And I think that is a really big problem right now, that we are that a lot of people are having right now. I'm
Welcome
not
back,
saying
Niki.
everyone's
Hope you're
struggling right
feeling
now and
better,
the world is
people
shit,
love.
but I have seen so many people for different circumstances and different reasons to struggle right now. And I think I want to talk
8
about that
months. Also,
for a
I'm so
little bit.
glad you've started to feel like streaming again.
Thank you. I
hope your
appreciate
break
that.
made you
Oh my
feel a
god,
lot
chat, you
better,
guys
and
are
I
so sweet.
appreciate you
I
doing a
appreciate
stream
you
like
guys. Oh
this.
my god. Okay.
I love you. Less than 3.
Oh, I'm already so emotional. I'm just like, fuck. I appreciate you guys so much. I was genuinely scared to come back straight to streaming. And I didn't want to come back to streaming and be like, everything's fine now and I am perfect and I am great.
Hello,
and
Niki. Love you so
will
much.
would
Hope you're
just
all
push
right,
through it, because
Nihachu
I'm
love.
not. I'm still not 100%, and I want to get these things out. Obviously, this is not going to be a stream where I just trauma dump on you and tell you this is wrong with my life and that
Sending
is
good
wrong with my
vibes to
life.
you and chat.
I am also not, like, these are disclaimers. I'm also not a professional. I've had a lot of experiences with mental health and people struggling with their mental health. I have met multiple people and I have struggled with
8
my mental
months.
health
That's a really
forever.
long time. I hope you're doing better now.
So yeah, these are just, I'm just going to talk about my own experiences today, the experiences that I have from other people.
Hi, Niki. Hope you're feeling better.
And I'm obviously only going to give you as much context and intel as I can and as I feel comfortable to, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you every single thing that is wrong with my life. I'm just going to tell you the broad the broad reasons and the broad things that give you enough context. And of course, I also would
It's so nice to see you again.
want you guys to
Keep
be
taking care of
safe
yourself,
here
less
on the
than
internet,
3.
where not everyone has your best interests in mind. So the more you tell people about yourself on the internet, the more they will have
OMG,
in their
year.
hands
I
against
hope
you.
you're doing
And I know a
well.
lot of people here are
Nihachu,
young,
love.
and I don't want you guys to be in trouble. So please don't just talk about every single thing that is wrong in your life, because
12 months.
people are
I am
nice.
so happy.
Like,
I
people
hope
are
you
nice,
feel
but people
better.
are not nice, you know? You don't know who's behind the screen. With that being said, first of all, chat, how are you? How have you been?
Niki, I'm glad that you're back.
Like I said, I haven't
you
really
look
been...
absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you are doing better. Lots
I am.
of love, less than 33.
I am. I haven't really been keeping up with everything much, with everything in the community.
Hi, Niki. Hope you've
so
been well.
I wanna know
Hope
how
you're
you guys
having a
are.
good day so far.
Thank you.
6 months, let's go.
I am. You're okay. I'm glad.
I'm
Okay.
so proud of you, Niki. You always make me feel so happy.
Thank
You're
you.
a
I
beautiful
appreciate
person,
it.
less than 3.
I haven't really mapped out how I want to talk about this and what exactly I
I'm
want
glad
to
you took a break for
say,
yourself.
because I
hope
thought
you're okay and we
Thank
all
you.
love you so much.
because I thought I
Nihachu
should just
Pat, still
sit here
Nihachu
and
heart spam
talk from my
Nihachu
heart
guitar.
and my brain and my experience, instead of writing something down that just doesn't feel
Niki, I hope you feel
natural.
better now. I am sorry that you've had a bad time with mental health recently.
Thank you.
We've all missed you so much, but we've all also been
I'm
glad
really
that you've
glad
had
to
the
be
time
back.
off to focus on yourself.
So yeah, I think what I want to do is, I'll just tell you,
Hello, Niki,
for the
I
last
missed you so
few
much, and
years,
this stream will be very important to me, especially
I have
with starting
been
college on Monday. My mental health
very
is taking
numb
a dive,
to
and you
the
always make me
experiences
feel
that I've
better by
had.
talking
I've
about
you know
mental
I've
health,
been
less than 3.
I've grown so quickly, and all of a sudden I'm here, and my life has changed
Let's go
completely
smiley
from one day
face.
to the other, and that was a big step for me. But I think because it's been so long now, I pretty much am able to deal with that, and that's just my life now, and I am really happy that this is my life now. Like, ultimately, this has been the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. But with that, a lot of imposter syndrome comes, and a lot of the emotions that I have felt when I was younger have come up in a different way. For example, my emotions of, well, when I was younger, I always had to fight for what I wanted, and I would never be able to sit still and enjoy something. And by the way, I'm not asking for pity, I'm just talking about my experience. Because maybe you guys can relate, or maybe you can't, or you see another perspective of like the way people see things and the way life is. So yeah, I'm not asking for pity. But yeah, I had to fight for what I earned, and all of a sudden I am in this position where I feel like I'm still fighting for what I want, but I am so fortunate now, and I feel like the amount of work that I have put in doesn't equal the amount of payback that I have received. And this emotion of like this imposter syndrome, and this emotion of like I don't really deserve this, has come up more and more, especially recently. And I think that is a really big factor of why I have spiraled downwards so much, because I have not seen what's in front of me. I have just seen what I shouldn't have had, or what I shouldn't have, or what I can't have. And the last week, I kind of set myself down, and I told myself, I have worked so hard to be here, and I have done so much to be here, and I do deserve it, and I kind of try to tell myself that, and that's been a really difficult thing for me, definitely. And it doesn't just have to do with this job. I also have a big I've also had that big with my social circle. I constantly felt like I don't deserve my friends. My friends are so cool. Why do they hang out with me? You know, like, and then I have been diagnosed with BPD, as you might now know or not know, but I have been diagnosed with BPD. And with BPD, there are a lot of other things attached to it. For me, I lack emotional prominence, like so much. I don't have any emotional prominence. If a person isn't giving me the love right now, don't know if they still love me in 2 minutes when they're out the door.
Hi, Nikki.
Um,
Just wanted to say thank you so
and I
much
had
for
a
checking
really
up on
big
me and
issue
for the
with
water
that.
at the Lovejoy gig. I am
Oh,
so sorry if I worried you.
no,
I
that's
am
okay.
feeling
I'm
better
so
now.
glad you're feeling better.
Thank you for all your help. Hope
But yeah,
you're
that's
doing
that
okay,
that
Nikki.
that has been a big
Less
thing
than
of
3.
like, I don't deserve my friends. My friends are so cool. They're all hanging out with each other and doing these cool things, and I can't because I'm not feeling well. And blah 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 blah. All these thoughts in my brain of like I don't deserve this. And yes, again, that has been a really big thing that I have set myself down, and I have told myself there is a reason why these things are in my life. There is a reason why these super cool people are in my life, and why I have this super cool job. And maybe, you know, maybe there are certain things where I just got lucky and that's it. But I also worked so hard towards it, and I work so hard every day to keep those things and to improve myself and all these things in my life. So yeah, I think that has been one thing. And obviously also because we just got out of like COVID's still a thing, but lockdown isn't, and we got out of lockdown, and all of a sudden
Nikki,
we have
less
so
than
many
3.
other things to focus on. I feel like I haven't really been focusing on the things that matter, and with that I kind of feel like I lost myself. I think only in this last week
Hello,
I have
Nikki.
been
I
feeling
hope you are well.
myself
Nihachu
again.
love. I
Like
learned how
I've
to
been feeling like
crochet and I
myself
feel
again.
very productive.
Other like
Also,
and not
happy
just
14
a
months,
shell
less than 3.
of myself and something that other people can project things onto.
Hey,
Because
Nikki,
if you guys
welcome back.
have been
I
here
hope you're feeling
for
better. Less
a
than
long
3.
time, you guys know I take mental health really seriously. I take being an individual really seriously, because it is
I
so
am
easy to
doing
drown.
good. I hope you've been
It is
doing
really
good, though.
easy to drown in this world, because there are so many people, there are so many individuals, there are so many paths that you can take.
I am so glad you're back. Missed you so
And
much, and I'm so
yeah,
glad
I think
you're
I
doing
kind of
well.
drowned a little bit, and I think I'm just now starting to get my head back up, and that only came from me sitting down and actively thinking about the kind of person I want to be and the kind of person I am right now, and I'm nowhere near the person I want to
Thank you
be.
for taking the time
I'm
to
very
talk about
proud
these
of myself.
serious things and helping other people by
Subconsciously,
explaining your
like
experiences.
in the back of my
Thank you.
head, I know I can be proud of myself for the things I have done, but obviously in the front of my head there's all these doubts, and I'm right now starting to kind of sort out the doubts and the constructive thoughts, like the thoughts that are just a burden and that are just there and that are just heavy, and the thoughts that, oh, I could make this better and I could do these things and those things to feel better, or something like that. And that
Sending big
takes a
hugs.
lot of
I
time.
hope everything is getting
And
better. Never forget that it's okay to not be okay.
thank you.
I absolutely
Yeah,
love
that
your
takes
streams,
it takes a
and
lot
you're
of
always
time,
there
it
to
takes
help
a lot
with
of
my
effort,
mental
and it
health.
takes a lot
I
of
can't
brain
thank you
power.
enough. Nihachu heart
To the
spam,
point
Nihachu
where
heart spam,
getting
Nihachu
out of
heart
bed
spam.
has been really difficult, because I have been thinking about all these other things. I have been, and I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of these things were me just putting myself down. But one day, it snapped, and I was like, no, I shouldn't. If I constantly just put myself down, I will lay here forever.
I miss you.
If I constantly just think about what a horrible person I am, I will lay here forever. And even if I think I'm a horrible person, I owe it to myself to get out of bed, or at least sit up and think about the things that I can change. If I think I'm a horrible person, that then there is a reason. And a lot of these reasons are stupid and they don't make sense to any other person that you tell them, because they're, you know, people don't see your whole picture. They just see
You deserve
a small
everything.
thing of
It's
yourself.
okay to take breaks.
Um,
Just know we
and
all
yeah,
love you
again,
so
that
much,
took a
and
lot
you
of
have done a
time.
lot more for me and
And
many
then,
others.
oh, it's Minx here.
In
Hello,
my
Minx.
eyes, you're the coolest person ever, and
Thank
you
you.
inspire
God,
me every
you're
day.
so sweet, guys.
I love
You
you.
guys have helped so much through that as well, because as much as I haven't been on
I
social
think we
media
all
much,
know you're the
sometimes I
coolest
have been
Nihachu,
scroll
less than
I
3.
think like once every 2 days I would like scroll through my message requests or scroll through my indirects, and I would see people being like, oh, I'm so proud of Nikki, she's taking care
Less
of
than 3,
herself.
less than
Nikki
3,
is
less
so
than 3.
cool.
glad you're
Like,
back
and that
feeling
has
better.
helped a lot too, because you know, it's kind of like my brain versus all these people telling me how much they care about me and how much I do matter.
Niki, I love her streams.
So yeah, that has been a big thing as well. I don't even know where I was. Yeah, it's just about sorting out these thoughts, and it's hard because your bad thoughts will disguise themselves as comfort. And maybe they even are comfort. Maybe they're not just disguised as comfort. Maybe they are comfort because you've been in this place for such a long time. You've been in this hole for such a long time, and you started to make this hole in this place your home. And because of that, it feels comforting, and it is your home now. And why do you want to leave? You don't know what's out there.
I love you less than 3.
Emotions, as much as they are, like, even if they are really positive, are scary because you don't know how they feel and you don't know where they lead you. And as a human, you always, like, not you always, but me as a person, for example, and I know a lot of people also think of the worst possible outcome, and you shouldn't, because if you always
Happy 18 months.
Sending
so much love to you, Niki, and chat Nihachu.
Yeah, no matter how much you like, no, if you always think of the bad thing, and if you always think of the bad outcome, you can't really reach the top, because you won't know, like, you won't know how it is until you try it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's also a really big thing that I realized, is that it is difficult, but a lot of the times you need to get out of your comfort zone. And I, for example, how I try to do that is, I am, like, especially in the last months, I have been so introverted. I have been just sitting inside. I didn't want to see, like, I wanted to see people, but also I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be perceived. I hated the thought of people seeing me and perceiving me. It was awful. Like, it's fine when I sit in my little room and talk to a camera, because it doesn't directly make me think, oh, there's a person that's looking at me right now, what are they thinking? But what I did is I went out more. I, for like 3 or 4 days in a row, saw friends and went out and made plans, and even if my friends weren't available, I went to a cafe. I went
so much when I'm upset.
Grocery shopping. Like, that was already difficult for me. Grocery shopping.
Take a break for mental health. Nihachu heart spam.
So yeah, I think that is a really big thing as well. You will get comfortable in your bad feelings and in your own sadness, and it's like, it's a big trap. It's a really big trap, especially if you have been there for many years or a long time, and you can't even remember what it's like to wake up without doubt, to wake up without, I don't know, sadness, or even to wake up with emotions. Because a lot of the times, maybe you will feel just emotionless and everything is just the same. That's also a big thing. So yeah, and I know people will tell you that all the time. You need to get out there. You need to get out of your comfort zone. And I would have been the last person to be like, to read a freaking self-help book and try to go out there much, because I'd be like, yeah, but that's other people. That's not for me. No, it is. I, like, only realized that when I had to hit my rock bottom, that I had to drag myself out there. And, you know, even if you think people don't understand you and they don't know what you're going through, so they don't know how to help you, and everything they say is stupid, it's worth a try. At this point, it is worth a try, because at this point you have tried everything, and maybe you will have to do things multiple times so they work. Maybe you go outside and you feel so inadequate that you just want to go home. And then you can go home, and then you try again. And you don't have to try again the next day, because maybe that completely knocked you out and your social battery is empty. But the next time you get invited, maybe you try it again, and you try it again, and you try it again. Because if the second you stop trying, that is when you can't improve anymore. If that makes sense. I don't know. A big thing that genuinely has helped me that I just mentioned are self-help books and self-help podcasts. I would have never, like,
We
I don't know.
appreciate you so
I
much, Nikki.
I
I'm glad
always
you are
thought
taking
like,
care of
oh,
yourself.
that's for
You've
other
helped me and
people.
so
That's
many
for
other
people
so
who
much
don't
through hard
have their
times,
life
and
in
I'm glad you can
control.
be here for us.
I have my life in
We're so
control.
proud of you.
I'm self-aware.
Nihachu love.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm sad. Yeah, I'm not feeling well. But hey, I got this. I don't need any other person to tell me what to do. And then I started reading. And then I started listening. And as much as these things that I am reading and listening are just things that make sense, you know, they're like, even what I'm telling you right now, this is probably things that you've heard 100,000 times and that you thought about 100,000 times, but it's the comfort. Like you sometimes you just need to feel like another person knows, not just knows what you're going through, but understands, you know. And I can't really go into too much detail because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to just go out there and tell you all the issues I've ever had. But reading through these books, a lot of people, they will mention like these small things. I've been reading this one right now. I've been reading this one right now, and so like even in the first few pages, I would read it and I would have to put the book down and just sit there being like, oh my god, you said it. Like, this is what I've been thinking all like for so long, and you said it. Or like even just like, it's the punch that you need sometimes, you know, because you will go through your life and you will think, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, I don't know how to get better. Oh, it's never gonna get better. And then sometimes you just need that punch of like, like the reason you stopped getting better, or the reason you feel like you aren't getting better, is because you don't believe in yourself. And I have such big self-image problems. I have zero self-confidence, or I've been getting better. That's the thing. I've been getting better, and I've been getting up there the past few days and the past few weeks. And it's a journey. It's a difficult journey, because I will still break down and it will be shit, and I think I can't do this anymore. But then I get back up,
warrior.
and then I, you know, I fight again, and I try again, and it gets tiring and it gets boring, and it feels really helpless. But if you look at yourself in half a year, then you will see improvement, and you will see that you've grown. So yeah. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's a really big thing that I can like tell you. Read self-help books, listen to self-help podcasts, even if you think they're stupid and therefore people who
Nikki,
aren't
not
me.
to call you
It's
out,
been
but
helping.
even years ago I could see that you had these doubts about yourself.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I always tried to be supportive, even in tiny ways.
Oh, thank you.
The least I could do was show that support in your community was there.
Aw, I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I've had this for years. I've had this even before I started content creation. Before I even entered high school, probably. I've had self-doubts, and I have not been very confident. And I've always tried to put myself out there as a confident person, but deep down I'm not. And a big thing is fake it till you make it. And I've been trying to fake it till I make it, and then these past few weeks happened where I just completely broke down, and I was like, what am I even doing? Because I think one big thing that I also realized is so I don't know how long you guys been here in this community, or how much you know about me and everything. But when people ask me what's your purpose, like what's the your purpose in life, what do you want to do, what do you want to achieve, I always say I try to find the best version of myself, and I work towards there. And I know that perfect doesn't exist, and I know that the best version will always change, and that gives me motivation. And I think one thing that I did is I stopped thinking about what the best version of myself is, and I kind of just entered autopilot, and I thought I knew this is what I want to go towards, and this is gonna be this is how I'm gonna do it. And then I had to stop myself and tell myself or realize that this isn't what I want to be, this isn't who I want to be, this isn't even who I am. So yeah, a really big thing that I've had to realize in the past few days was that I'm still on a very long journey and I kind of swayed from the path that I wanted to be on, and that's fine. Like that's a big thing as well. Like, it's never going to be linear, and you will never just go straight through life. And I think I'm now at a point where I want to be the best version of myself again. I want to become better. I want to be kind and not bitter again. I feel like I've been so bitter the past few months. Like, I've been so jealous and so bitter and just not I've just not been enjoying my own company. And I want to change that, and I want to work towards that. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people might feel the same way, because that's human, you know? It's so easy. It is so easy to fall into negative patterns and into negative emotions. And I want to share this with you guys, because all you see out there is these perfect people with their perfect lives, and everything is great, and then something happens and all of a sudden that person's gone. So, like, I don't know, and then you're left there with questions. And I think I want to give you the answers of, I've not been well, I really haven't been, but I'm working towards it, and this is how I'm doing it. These are my thoughts. This is what I'm experiencing. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, chat. Wait, let me open my chatterino. God, my voice. That way I can see you guys easier. Can I see the book again? Here, I'll show you this book. I also want to give you reviews on the books that I'm reading, because I've always been into like non-fiction books, but I've more been into like medical books and books about psychology and stuff, and less into self-help books. But this book has been very helpful, and I have a bunch of other books that I don't have here right now, but I have a bunch of other books that I want to read, and that I think will help me a lot. And I want to give you guys reviews, and I want to show you guys. I'm currently like a little less than halfway through this book, and even now, like, this book has already changed so many things of the way that I think. So yeah, I really think that some podcasts, ooh, I forgot the name of the podcast I've been listening to, because I mostly just listen to it. I just put it on and then fall asleep. So I don't even know if the lessons are good.
You and your community have helped me and so many other people out so much.
Oh, thank you, bro.
This is one of the reasons why I try to be as supportive as I can.
Thank you
so much for everything, Niki. Nihachu, love.
One other thing I wanted to talk about. Mentioning podcasts. I recorded the first episode of my podcast, but I kind of put it on hold because I wasn't happy with it. But I think this week, and me being focused on this journey right now, is going to be really helpful for the podcast. So I think I want to just re-record the first episode, and then with like the new like vision I have. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a completely new person and everything's changed and all of a sudden everything's great, but I now finally actively started this healing journey that I thought I had so many times before. So many times before I was like, I'm just not gonna be sad anymore. And then I got sad again, and I was like, why is this not working? And I think I now finally realized that it's not about never being sad anymore and never feeling these emotions anymore, but it's more about healing, you know? And a big part of healing is feeling everything. And I don't know. I'm a big person that's like, I push down emotions. If I feel a bad way, I push it down. I don't care. I push it down. I have to work. I have to go out with friends. I have to do all these things. My brain, I don't have time. And a big thing is, and I always say it's okay not to be okay, but I never practice it. And I'm now finally on a I guess level where I'm comfortable with feeling, and I can feel. And as much as I maybe will have to, like, for one day have to push it down and work through it, I will then give myself a day to feel it and to, you know, work through my emotional stress and my mental stress. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I started. I'm just rambling. This is just a ramble stream. What's the book called again? The book is called When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. It's by Brianna West. See, she also wrote
Very proud of you, Niki, for sharing your journey. I myself struggle with my mental health and just general negative thoughts.
Oh, bless you.
It's very hard to get started of that healing journey, so thank you for taking the time to talk to us about these things less than 3.
Of course. She also wrote 101 essays that will change the way you
Love
think.
you, Niki.
And I'm
Less
pretty
than
sure
3,
that
less than
book was
3.
pretty big on TikTok a while ago, and I have that book with me as well. I haven't read it yet. Because I don't know, I felt like this one was the most adequate thing to
11
read
months,
right now.
let's go. Shield you back, quote,
yeah.
feeling better now.
Thank
Never
you.
leaving.
Oh, I appreciate it. Hello, Zuko. Where are you? Oh, no, you can't see him. Wait, other way. Ah, there he is. Hello. Hello. He has been so helpful. Zuko, the 1 week where I couldn't leave my bed, and I genuinely couldn't. I did not, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that part in Euphoria where Rue, was it Rue? Is her name Rue? I think her name is Rue. Where she just, where she talks about how she got a bladder infection because she couldn't leave. I didn't get a bladder infection, but that's real. That's real. I did not leave my bed, and I couldn't leave my bed. It was really, really bad. But he has not left my side. He has slept in my bed. Usually he doesn't like to sleep in my bed because it gets too warm, and he usually sleeps at the side, on a chest of drawers. But he's been sleeping in my bed. He's been with me, as you can see. Even now, he's been with me. Every time I started crying, he was on my lap. So yeah, he has been. Animals are such a blessing when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah. he's been very, very lovely. Pooh, jump scare.
Jump scare.
No. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things that I can tell you and talk about. I'm going to TwitchCon. That's gonna be fun. Losing close friends. I mean, I think a big thing for the way I've been feeling has also been Techno's death. I have a lot of regret, and I've had a lot of regret of I should have reached out more, I should have talked to him more, all of these things, you know. That's been a really, really tough thing as well. But I've lost a lot of friends before, and I when it comes to losing friends and losing people that are close to me, through death at least, I I have been able to grieve okay with it. Like I know I don't do well with grief. Like I don't know how to
Less than
express
3.
it. I don't know how to talk about it, but I can cry. You know, I can sit there and cry and let it out, and then I'll be okay again. And then I think about him and I honor him, but I know ultimately, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm like with stuff like again, like I can't really express it, but with that, like it's been a really big thing as well. But yeah, I don't know. There you can see, like I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how to talk about grief, when it comes to losing people. But yeah, I'm honoring him, and he was a wonderful person, and I appreciate all the time that I spent with him. Yeah. Wondering what else is there that I've been thinking about the last few days that I can talk about. Yeah, I don't know. Who really helped me in hard times? So I have been really grateful for my friends being here for me. Like all of my friends have been showing me that I am loved so much in the past weeks. Like I genuinely could not be more grateful for the people that I am surrounded with. But one big thing is another thing that comes with my BPD is I look for my favorite person, and I need a favorite person because I was abandoned as a child a lot, and the second someone makes me feel like they won't abandon me and that I can be safe, I cling to them. And I've had that issue for years, and a few years ago actually I told myself I don't want to do that anymore. So every time, as much as it hurts me and as difficult as it is, I try to push myself away from my favorite person and focus on other things and other people. So I think in this situation, a favorite person would have been really helpful.
Thank you so much for this stream, Niki.
And trying
you
to,
are amazing and keep to it.
I'm gonna try and explain favorite person for people who don't like who don't really know what that is, because you can have a favorite person and it can be totally healthy, but for me it becomes so I'm trying to like collect my thoughts and trying to think how I can explain this. I have, like, for me it is really difficult to find help, to ask for help and to accept help. It's really difficult. I don't know how to do it. And I ultimately know that I need help. And I know that I need comfort. I don't know how to find comfort. I don't know how to find my home. I don't know how to find my safe haven. That's really difficult for me. I don't have a place. I don't have a person. I don't have an activity. I don't have these things. I find it really difficult to have these things and to ask for these things. And when a person comes along then and tells me and shows me, I am all of these things and I will be here for you and you can lean on me, I start putting my baggage down. And at first that's great, and at first that's fine, and at first I feel safe, that person feels good because they can be there for me, like it's good. And then it becomes obsessive because I start to put that person on a pedestal, and I think that person is so great and they will never do anything wrong and they will never hurt me. And then I realize, oh shit, they do, and they will, because they're people. Like they're human and they're a person and they have their own issues and their own things to deal with. So, a few years ago, I told myself, I don't want that. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to put my everything into another person. I should put my everything into myself. And I have so much love. I have so much love to give all the freaking time. Like I'd say I'm one of the most loving people that I know. But it becomes really unhealthy when all I do is give that love away and I don't give myself any love. So, when it came to this experience now, as much as I had my friends with me and I had people who care about me, I have been trying not to get attached to just one single person too much, because I don't want to rely on them so much. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. And it's not a thing of I'm gonna isolate myself and I'm never going to try and be close enough to a person again, because that's what I thought. Like a few years ago when I went through a really difficult breakup, I thought I'm never going to love again. I thought I'm never going to find a person again who I can trust, because I become obsessive. Like it's not like I become crazy and I want to see them all the time. No, it's a thing of I put my everything into them, and until I figure out how to keep a piece of myself, I don't want to get that close to a person. And that's actually the reason why I am not dating, and that's the reason why I don't know. That's the reason why I've not been looking for a significant other, I guess, because I need to first figure myself out, and I need to first figure my emotions out. And I have really good friends who are always there for me, who I can rely on. So yeah, that's kind of that right now. It was the Lovejoy concert. It was really fun. Yes, I went to the Lovejoy concert, the first like official Lovejoy concert, and it was really fun. I'm very very proud of all of them. Like I remember what was it, like 2 years ago or 1 year ago now, when in winter where Will and Joe like wrote all the songs. Like I remember that really well, and all these things, and seeing them now on stage performing. Sophie, thank you. Actually, thank you for gifting Sophie a sub. Like seeing them all perform on stage now it's very nice. It's very fun. What else? Before my diagnosis, did I ever think that I had BPD? I didn't know what BPD was before I was diagnosed. Yeah, and even when I was diagnosed, I didn't really know what it was until I went to what is it? DBT. Yeah, DBT. What is it? Dialectical behavior therapy. I went through dialectical behavior therapy twice. And the first time I did it, I went through it in not a locked psych ward, but in like a day psych ward. Like you would go there and you would have school there and you will have other people and then you will have therapy and then you go home for the night. And I went through that the first time I got diagnosed, and that's kind of when I learned about it from the other patients. Like the other patients talked to me about their experiences and how a lot of the thoughts and feelings I had were explained through what's going on in my head, and all these things. So we would just talk about these things, and that's how I learned about it. Yeah, but oh, someone just rang my doorbell. Give me 1 second, chat. says delivery, but I didn't order anything. Weird. What day is today? Monday. It's 9 p.m. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's kind of that. I do think that my diagnosis has helped me a lot, because it not just being like, oh, this makes sense, and I never leaned on it. Like, I was never like, I have borderline personality disorder, so this is how I feel, and you have to deal with that. I have always been like, this is the reason, but I am working on it. I'm trying to get better, because I always have been. But it has been helping me with getting the proper help, getting the proper medications, getting the proper therapies. I know that my borderline personality, where it comes from, I know all these things, and I think that's been really good. But I would never like lean on that and be like, Zuko, stop. Yeah, I would never lean on it and say like, oh yeah, you have to deal with me because I am like this and I will never change. Because I try and I work really hard on it. Sorry, he's been like wiggling the camera. Did I go check? Give me a second. Nothing at my door. Maybe downstairs. I don't know. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I don't really mind right now because I didn't order anything, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my experience with that. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. How do I stay motivated? I don't know. I've always been like, I've always kind of worked towards what I want. Like in school, I would work towards getting good grades. Moving to, sorry, if it's wiggling, that's Zuko. When I like, Zuko! You're too big! When I want to meet new friends, like when I've just moved and I want to meet new friends, I've worked towards that. I think a big, like, yeah, I think a big thing for me has always been, it's always been like that for me. So I'm really bad with like telling you how to stay motivated. Even though in the last week, like I'd say like 2 weeks ago, the week before this week, I kind of gave up. Like I was so defeated. I was like, I've tried so much. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, I've tried so much. I was like, this is it. I'm done. And then I got myself back up because I kind of, sorry, this I don't know why I'm crying now. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's always been like that. Like whenever I have a bad night or a bad day, the world moves on and sorry, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I think that just hit. But I'm fine. Ooh. No, I'm fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's always just been like that, you know. I've always just been working towards something, and I think a big thing is I try not to work towards this huge goal that I don't even know where to start with, and that has 10,000 steps that I don't know how to take them. But I work towards small goals. Like, for example, I could have kept streaming and worked towards my sub goal and towards my follow goal on like the other account, or you know, I could have done these things and I could have put myself into that work and to drown myself into that work. But I realized that getting better right now was the bigger goal, and the bigger thing to work towards. So I worked towards that. I worked towards getting better. And I think that's something that helps me with staying motivated, is that I try to think of what is most important right now, and then I go with that. And then when I realize something else more important right now, I go with that. And when I realize I can breathe, then I can work towards the things that I enjoy, and in a way that I enjoy them. Like, you know, healing, I don't enjoy, like, I kind of enjoy healing. Like, I enjoy feeling better about myself and about things, but I don't enjoy the heartache that comes with it. And I don't enjoy how difficult it is to like look into myself and realize all these horrible things. You know, I hate that, and everyone would hate that, but it's important right now. And yeah, I think the one thing also is that my biggest goal is and will always be to make this world a better place. As stupid as it sounds, because everyone's like, oh, this world's shit and it's gonna go to shit, and why do you even bother? I do because I think that if more people thought that way, the world can actually be a really good place. And if I can show people that you can make it through kindness, and you can make it through helping other people and being a better person, then that's good. So yeah, I don't know, chat. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, that like hit. I think that's because I like I felt it so intensely. But I'm good now. You guys are so sweet. Oh, chat, you're so sweet. Oh my god. Oh, I don't even know. I'm so happy with this community. I'm so happy because I feel like we built ourselves something really nice. Yeah, I really like this. This is really good. You guys are very sweet, and I don't know, I like how you guys make people feel safe. I really do. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, thank you. You get it from me? I genuinely think we kind of like influenced each other. I don't think this is like, oh, I am this great person and I attract these great person. Like, I think we kind of built each other, because I strive to be a better person for the people that watch me. Like, I want people to feel safe, and I want people to feel happy, and I want people to feel comfort, and you know, I think a big reason is because I get that feedback. If I had had a community that would just make fun of me, and that would be like the dynamic that we had, I'd play into that. And it's not, and I'm not saying that I'm just playing into you guys. I'm just saying that I think we kind of both influence each other to a point where if you all of a sudden started to like make fun of me, of course I'd feel like, what the fuck is going on? But I'd probably eventually, you know, like play into that, and that would be the dynamic. So yeah, I don't know. At least I think so. I don't know. I wouldn't know because it hasn't happened. Thank you, Luna. Yeah, we bounce the energy off of each other. Yeah, I think so. We would never. Thank you, Fen. I always ask myself, what will the Niki Nihachu community do? True. Every time I go through a difficult decision, I'm like, what would chat do?
You've already made such a positive impact, and you're always continuing to. I missed your streams. You make me so happy when I'm upset.
I'm glad to be
You're
back.
amazing, and I hope you never forget it.
Thank
It's
you.
honestly so brave of you to speak up and talk about this. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm really happy that I get to come back to this much comfort. Like I said, I felt so scared. I even like today I was like, do I just cancel stream? Do I just not stream forever? But being back here and now seeing all this, it's very reassuring, I guess. Like I feel very loved and I feel like I belong somewhere. So I really appreciate that. And so yeah, I don't know. What else could I do? Group hug. Let's see if I can read you something from this book. Let me see. Let me see if there's like one thing that can stick with us. I don't know. Maybe I'll just read you the first chapter. The first chapter is like 4 pages. Yeah, I'll read you the first chapter. Thank you, ZB. Okay. It's called When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. You recognize that familiar dull feeling in your gut, as though something is wrong, though you can't quite pinpoint what. You start to take inventory of your life. You recount your job, your salary,
Nikki.
your
I
friends,
really want to tell you
what
the way
so
you were
and so
talking
from
about
such
mental
and
health
such
has been
time in
very
your life
eloquently
would
said.
think of you now.
Especially as it's
Your
something that
nice
is
new
super
profile
tough to do.
photo on
I have
Facebook,
been told the
the
person you want to
pieces
be is the person you
when
are.
you put together from
You
a
are
picture that
incredible.
should nullify that feeling. And yet, you go through life stymied by that ache. It crescendos and crashes. You get distracted by the news or your job or Twitter or something that temporarily scares you a little bit more. Sorry, I can't read. It goes on until one day you realize you're being alleviated, haunted by a pain that you can't quite decipher. Slowly it wears you down. It's harder to get up, it's harder to get out. It's easier to drink and then drink some more, or maybe eat or shop or post photos of yourself onto Instagram. Everyone has a different vice. The more you are confused by the small scary feeling you can't figure out, the worse it gets, and the worse it gets, and the more you become convinced that it's a warning of what is to come. You start to attach thoughts to the feeling, fear stories. The stories you realize are illogical. You're overreacting. You're convinced your world is imminently coming to an end, and these gut feelings, the ones you've been implicitly told to trust for so long, are simply warning you to take cover. What you can't see what you can't see right now is that nothing is really wrong. Actually, things are really right, which is why you finally feel safe enough to feel what you really feel. Stop projecting, stop telling stories. Those dull, unsettling feelings are not in the future, they're in the past. You've been carrying them with you all this time. If we don't finish processing our emotional experiences, they stay with us like the food we can't metabolize, the old clothes we never get around to packing up and putting out at the curb. Sometimes they hold within them nourishment, wisdom, and guidance. Other times, they're debris from a chapter long closed. Either way, they are signals to the space in which we are not yet free. When you're ready to heal, you will need to lay yourself down in a very safe space and focus on those tense feelings. Have them show you their origins. You will begin to see moments you forgot about, feelings you forgot you ever felt. The past will come up in blinks and vignettes. Slowly over time, you will awaken to what is really wrong, which is the piece of you that had to break off and build a wall around your heart because behind it was a wound you did not yet know how to heal. I'm gonna take my glasses off because I they're dirty and I can't read. I'm just gonna hold it really close to me so I can read. You will know what the anger, the sadness, and the anxiety are. You will know that the anger, the sadness, and the anxiety are a veil, a trigger trying to wake you up, not knock you out. You will need to cry. You will need to cry for the 13-year-old that got her heart broken, for the 16-year-old whose friends were mean to him. You will need to mourn what you lost, and when you lost it, you will need to go back in time and insert yourself into those memories as an adult and tell your child-safe self to say what they really needed to say at the moment they really needed to say it, though they couldn't find the words or the courage. You will need to do this over and over and over again until you slowly realize you are becoming lighter. You're releasing. Though you cannot change time, you are somehow changing your story. You will need to sweat. You will need to stretch and move your body and pay close attention to where you are tight and what feels uncomfortable, and where you are pent up and storing all the pain. You will need to shake. You will need to lay on the floor and literally shake out everything you're holding. You will need to let yourself feel vulnerable and small, both of which are, at the end of the day, the two feelings we guard ourselves against the most. You will need to surrender. Through the tears and the sweat and the shaking and shifting, you will stop fighting. You will stop fighting it. You will see your past life for what it was, so you can see your present life for what it is, filled with hope and potential. Eventually, you will get up and your world will start to change. You will exit relationships and begin others. You will call someone you haven't talked to in a long time. You will suddenly be inspired to attend a new class or find yourself drafting your resignation email. You will begin writing, reading, sitting outside and drinking water, feeling grateful for these simple, nourishing things. You will sleep a bit easier. Gradually, you will start to return to yourself. You will enter that emotional fire and burn off everything blocking the core of you from truly being in the world. Then you will know that when you lose someone, you must cry. When you're frustrated, you must be frustrated. When you want to say something, you must speak. In the healing process, you don't just learn how to go back and fix what you didn't finish. You also learn how to press forward, how to live more intently and presently, how to process your experiences in real time. The more you do this, the more you will awaken and begin to show up for your life. You start speaking again. You start feeling again. You start being again. When you feel something enough, when you feel strong enough to look at what's wrong, you begin to unearth your soul. It was always there. It was just buried under years and layers of identities and styles and beliefs and ideas that had adhered themselves to you like a shield. You were never lost. You were only hidden. All the time you spent feeling so uncomfortable was just your deepest self trying to speak to you, trying to remind you of its presence. It was only the core of you saying, "Keep going. There's more to life than this." And that was the first chapter. And I really like this book, and I really think you guys should read it. It is on Amazon, yes. Again, it's called When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. It has some, like I said, like a lot of these
Sending
things.
you only the best of wishes and all the love.
A lot
Take
of these
care,
things
always,
feel
Miss
like
Niki
something you've
Nihachu.
heard
You
before
inspire
or
me
something
so
you
much to be
know,
only the
but
best me I can be,
it's
and to
good
be a
to
light
read
for
them.
others as well, and to be genuine to myself.
Thank you.
Always the best to you, Miss Niki.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to read them. It's good to hear them, and I definitely would tell everyone, even if you're like, I don't need to heal. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm perfect. Even then, I would just to give you a different perspective, maybe.
Hello, Niki. I hope you're feeling well. Less than 3 sending
Thank you.
love.
I hope you are too. I need to put my glasses back on because I can't actually see. I had to put them off because they're dirty.
PH1L love, thanks for the chill vibes. I need it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. Did what I was saying make sense? Because I kind of just rambled. I feel like I just rambled. But if it makes sense and if it helped at least one of you and made at least one of you feel a little more okay, then I'm really glad. And that's honestly everything I wanted with this stream. So yeah. I think I'm gonna end it here though. Like I don't know, I'm an emotional mess still, but I'm gonna end it here. I might be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow, but I might either be back here and we're gonna play some MCC Island because I haven't yet.
Nikki,
I know
really
MCC Island came
you.
out and I haven't played it yet.
Money to travel and for a ticket to Insomnia for you to not come.
No, I know.
Trust issues before, but never thought you would break my trust, Nikki.
I really
I'm
wanted
sorry,
to go
I'm
to
just
Insomnia.
upset.
I'm really sorry about that. I really wanted to go to Insomnia, but I just physically could not be at a convention right now. And I'm really sorry about that. I genuinely would have gone any other time, but this was the worst time for me to go. And I really apologize for that. And I'm really, really sorry. And next time, I won't say that I will go if I didn't know I couldn't go, but I will soon enough let people know that I can't. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, I'm really sorry. I feel really bad. I genuinely do, because I was thinking about it. And I
get what they
almost
mean.
went.
I said I'd be sad if you didn't come, but you assured that you would. Nikki, it's just a cruel joke that you will travel thousands of miles to do events, but never do any in the UK.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It feels like you're ashamed of us.
No, I'm not. I really am not. And I want to see people in the UK. I really do. I mean, my first meet and greet was in the UK. I just couldn't. But next event that is here, I really
Especially
will
when
go.
you're feeling down. I just want to give you a hug. Mental health is just a roller coaster, hee hee.
Very true. But yeah, that's that. I will either be back here and play MCC Island, or I will play The Last of Us, on my alt account.
This stream means so much to me and so many other people. Thank you so much, Nikki, and I'm glad you're taking care of yourself and your mental health.
Thank you. I am. Who do we raid? Guys, thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the subs. I know I didn't read out any subs today. That's because I was very much focused on my own head and getting out all the rambles I had. But next time I will again thank you all for the subs and also react to your messages more. Yeah, I hope the stream helped. I'm gonna go ahead and raid Anfrost? What's Anfrost doing? I have no idea what Anfrost is doing right now. Oh, I think he's watching a video.
Sorry about the whole Insomnia stuff, Nikki.
Oh, no.
If it makes you feel any better, I went to Insomnia and made sure to leave your mark on it. Look in media
That's really
in the
sweet.
sub-Discord to see what I mean.
I'm really sorry I couldn't
got
go.
you, Nikki.
I will regret that for a while. But I just genuinely could not. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. Wait, is my raid on? Yes. Okay. Go ahead and give Anfrost my love though, chat. Thank you so much for the stream today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you all being here, and I really appreciate all you guys' support. I really do. I actually do have, before you guys leave, please don't leave yet. I actually do have a very mental health focused centric thing planned in the next months. I'm still working out the specifics though, so I can't talk about it too much, but if you guys are interested in my mental health stuff, there's going to be stuff coming that directly have stuff to do with that. Anyways, give Anfrost my love. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you all are having a wonderful morning, evening, or day. There we go. I almost forgot that. How could I?